Right, is it working this time? Are we rolling? We're going to find out soon. Yes, yes, yes. Go away. Oh, nope. I don't want that as the picture. I'm hoping people can see this. Well, it says I'm live. That's a good start. Someone hopefully will pop in shortly. Yo, Cyan, can you hear me? Is the audio coming through all right? Okay. If the audio or the video or anything gets bad at any point, just let me know and then I'll fiddle with some stuff. Right, in which case I think we're good. That's fine, I can leave that. Yep, it's there. It's there. It's there. Right, so I guess we'll get started. So I just figured I have a Sunday off. Well, not a Sunday off, but I have a Sunday where I've had very little to do. It's the 4th of Feb. For context, we've just had Irish, so you can use that as a bookmark, as a reference to where we are in the world and in time and in existence. But yeah, I figured I have a couple of hours to just chill and do something, and I've been wanting to do more live streams like this with the camera and doing stuff on my laptop, specifically with doing tier list ideas, as well as doing video game live streams of games that I either need to finish let's playing because I've been let's playing them for like forever, or new games that I bought specifically to let's play and haven't let's played them. But I've only got a couple of hours. I have it's 2:40 right now, and I have basically until about 4:30. I have time to chill, and I have absolutely nothing to do. Well, not nothing to do, but I have very little to do. So I figured I'd come live stream. Before we get started, I'm going to let you guys. In fact, I'm going to type this in the chat. We've got some. I want to chat to you guys about some specific stuff. Specifically, what's been happening with the channel, where we're going in the future, plans for this year, stuff like that. And I also want to discuss. I also want to do some tier lists. because that's the big thing with doing these laptop live streams, is doing quizzes and tier lists. And I did some quizzes on the last live stream in October, I think it was, and haven't really gotten into the tier lists. So we've got a bunch of tier lists here. You're not going to get a choice of all of these. I'm going to write in the chat which ones are your options, but I'm going to start off by doing this one, and I'm going to. Oh no, sorry, it's not that one. It's sorry, shut my mouth. I'm going to start by doing Halo missions, and you guys get a choice of, I think, I can't remember. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you guys can pick from the other 4 which one. We're going to do 2 tier lists, unless we zoom through both of them, and then I'll do a third one. We're going to do 2 tier lists. The first one is Halo missions. Then the second one is the choice that you guys can choose. And the choices are, of the list you can see hopefully right now, Resident Evil, Disney animated movies, Star Wars lightsaber fights, or Avatar. You guys can pick one of those. Okay, I just put it in the live stream chat. Pick one of those 4, and if only one person votes, then I'll go off of that one person. Otherwise, majority rules, and whichever one you guys pick will be the second tier list that I do after the first one, which is Halo missions. Although, considering there's only 2 other people in here right now, I don't know if we'll get much in terms of response. So I guess the pressure's on you two, whichever one you guys pick. So you can choose from Resident Evil games, which I know a lot about, Disney animated movies, Star Wars lightsaber fights, or Avatar: The Last Airbender episodes. I also don't know if anyone's picked it up in the Discord. Oh, Elite, why don't you get in the fucking stream and vote instead of putting jokes in the friggin' Discord? Okay, well, you know what? Cyan's the only one who's commented right now, so maybe it'd be wiser. Hold on, I'm just going to put another message in the chat. Pick from... So your pick's in, Cyan, so you don't need to vote again. But for anyone else that joins in at any point, pick from 4 options. Which one we do. No joke, serious. Yeah, what? Elite? Well, I don't know the names of all the obstacles, so we can't do that, Elite. Also, I don't know why it says we've got 2 live viewers when we've got 3, because I'm one of them, and there's 2 other people that have put stuff in the live chat. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You guys vote, and whilst people come in, and hopefully put a vote in, we'll start with the first point of why I wanted to do this live stream, which was discussing the future and what's been going on, which is why I've loaded up this, which is my own personal video schedule document. I hope I've got nothing to hide, and I hope I'm not revealing anything that shouldn't be on here. I got the sprites in it. Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's nothing incriminating or anything on here that you guys shouldn't be seeing. I'm pretty sure it's all good. But basically, because I get a lot of people asking me what's going on with uploads, where's the next NWOH tournament, where's the next NWOH videos, and I can explain some of it, hopefully, in this next like 10 or so minutes whilst people vote, and then we'll get started on the tier list. So Tournament 22 has just finished uploading. We got all of the episodes out, and there's now only one more Halo 5 tournament still to upload, which is Tournament 23. Beyond that, we then go on to Infinite. I haven't hosted anything on Infinite yet, and the game is obviously, the Forge has been out for over 13 months, coming up to 14 months. Lots of people have hosted lots of tournaments. Joey and Elite have started up their own courses. But I still haven't hosted anything. Now, the plan always was to get Tournament 22 done and then go to work on Tournament 24, because the plan I always had was host a tournament, upload the previous tournament. Once the previous tournament is uploaded, host the next tournament, and then so on and so on and so on. So the plan was always to get Tournament 22 out, start work on editing and uploading Tournament 23, and at the same time host Tournament 24. Once Tournament 24 is hosted, focus on uploading all the Tournament 23. Once all the Tournament 23 is out, host Tournament 25. Host Tournament 25, upload Tournament 24. Once both are done, host Tournament 26, upload Tournament 25, and so on and so on and so on. The problem was that Tournament 22 took a long time to get uploaded, and there's several reasons for why this happened. Obviously, life gets in the way. I have a job, I have responsibilities, I have Ninja, which is still a big part of my life, and I do have responsibilities in Ninja, not just as a competitor, but also stuff that I do in the background as part of the UK community. And then just general life, you know, when you've been doing all of that stuff, you don't have as much free time as you think. And so that leaves me in a position where the few hours I do have during the week, during free time, I don't want to, but at the same time, I can't spend all of my free time editing videos or hosting tournaments or forging or doing it. I need chill time, and any adult, I hope, would understand that. That's not to say that I haven't been lazy at times, because I definitely have been lazy a handful of times in the past. There has been times when I've been not as motivated to edit or to forge or to upload or whatever it may be. But yeah, I am always, my dedication is still exactly the same as it was 10, 12 years ago. It's just life does have an impact. I know that's not going to change a lot, because there'll still be people like Tricky Cyrus and other people that will go into Discord and be saying, where's the next tournament? Where's the next episode? Blah, 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 blah. And I respect that and understand that, but at the same time, there's only so much I can do. Having said all that, I didn't help myself with uploading Tournament 22, because I wasted a lot of time with this. I don't know if you can see that. HRL Racing. So Tournament 21, I'm pretty sure. In fact, you know what? I could get up. Hold on. I can actually use this for reference. Tournament 21. Yes, you should, Vulcan. Oh, okay. Well, that's only the full video. I want the actual episodes. T21, will that do it? Okay, that'll do it. So Tournament 21 finished uploading at the end of 2021, which I believe at that point, at the end of 2021, I'd done most of Tournament 23. Vulcan, vote the tier list before you leave. Pick one of the 4 options that I've put in the live chat. And also, Elite, I still haven't got your actual answer. Cyan's currently winning. He's decided what we're doing, unless more people vote. So Tournament 21, at the end of 2021, we finished uploading Tournament 21. At that point, I'd hosted Tournament 23, and I think I hadn't got all the runs, but I got most of the runs. And Infinite had been delayed. The game was out, but the Forge wasn't going to be out until exactly 12 months in the future. So I was left in a position where it was either host another tournament on Halo 5, Tournament 24, or wait it out, upload Tournament 22, get all that out in time for when Halo Infinite Forge was out, and then we're in business, because then we can edit Tournament 23, host Tournament 24. The problem was, and this is 100% my fault, is I committed to all of this. HRL. I spent most of 2022 uploading HRL videos because I'm a big part of the racing community, as some people in this community and on this channel know. Halo racing is the other big passion that I'm involved in, alongside halo jumping. But and yeah, 2022 was the last year we were racing on Halo 5. We'd been racing on Halo 5 for 5 or 6 years. It had been a big part of my racing career. I'd probably spent more time racing on Halo 5 than I had on any other game. But the problem was, the guy that normally does the videos decided he didn't want to do it. And I thought that would be a shame to end Halo 5 without the videos. So I just basically said to him, I'll do all the videos. Me and Fireball agreed that we were going to do them, and then about halfway through I binned Fireball off because he was just we could never get online together to do all the videos. So we did like the first 4 or 5, and then I went solo. And I was fine committing to that. I wanted to do it because, as I say, I wanted Halo 5, Halo racing, to end on a high note. But the problem was, as you can see here, race number 1 came out May 2022. And then if you look, we got 2022, 2022, 22, 22, June 22, June, July 2022, September. Last race of the season, uploaded September. I spent a huge chunk of 2022, and then these 2 bonus videos at the end of 2022, start of 2023. I spent basically the whole of 2022, with the free time I did have, uploading Halo racing videos and doing nothing apart from this one episode here. I did nothing in 2022 for uploading NWOH Tournament 22. And that set me back. So I basically wasted a year where the whole plan went out the window, and instead I spent 2023 uploading Tournament 22. Now you're probably also wondering, well, hang on, Hannah, how come it still took you over a year to get the other 3 episodes out? It's a good point. I had a lot of issues with my laptop, with my external hard drive. There was an issue where I lost all the footage on my external hard drive, and that definitely demotivated me to the point that I was doing no videos whatsoever. In fact, you can see I have nothing to hide here. So episode 1 came out November 2022, the last races at the end of 2022, and then nothing until end of April, except, and this is real life ninja stuff. Episode 2 came out June. That's like what, 8 months, 7 months after episode 1, and and this episode 2 was the first episode that came out. I'll let them see that. I'll let them see that, Elite. Also, okay, it's not letting me show it for some reason. Okay. Yeah, episode 2, and then a vlog, and then episode 3, and then I believe the very next, and then as soon as episode 3 came out, we went straight into episode 4. We also filmed the quiz in September. That's just come out yesterday as well. But the external hard drive, basically, this episode, this top 10, and this episode, if the external hard drive stuff hadn't have happened, all of those videos would have come out 2 months earlier than they actually did. If the external hard drive stuff hadn't have happened, I would have not been demotivated. I would have not wasted 2 months doing nothing, feeling sorry for myself. And if you just look at when episode 4 came out, it came out middle of January. If it came out 2 months earlier, that would have been middle of November. I then could have spent the rest of 2023 and then the whole Christmas break, when I had no work, no responsibilities, nothing, finishing the forging for Tournament 24. And who knows, maybe Tournament 24 could be about to start, like around about right now. That didn't happen. Most of Tournament 24 is ready to go. It's not finished yet, not fully forged, but we're getting there. I got a lot of help from Atlantic. Shout out to Atlantic for that. Go check out Halo Sasuke. But now we're in a position where, in fact, we can go back to this, where apart from uploading Tournament 22 in full, we are ready to go with hosting Tournament 24 once I get it, once I get the forging finished. I don't know why. I don't know if your comment, Elite, is actually appearing in the live chat or not. I said it wanted me to hold it for review because you put crotch in the wording, and I said it was fine, but I don't know if it's actually appearing in the live chat or not. Oh well. But yeah, so the plan is put another message in, Elite. See if YouTube's banned you or something. So yeah, the plan is, from a hosting point of view, to finish up the forging for Tournament 24 and get it hosted, start hosting it. I don't know when yet. I still don't know when. It's going to depend on how long it takes for me. Oh, it is there. Good. It's going to depend on how long it takes for me to finish the how long it takes for me to finish the rest of the forging. But from a video point of view, this is what all of this down here is what's coming up. So we just uploaded the quiz yesterday. I'm in France next weekend, and I'm taking my camera with me, and I want to do a vlog for that, because anytime I go to a new place, ninja-wise, I always like to film it. Especially this one, because we have like 12 or 13 people from the UK going. So it's a huge representation for the UK, and I get to be a part of it. So I want to do a vlog for that. We've already said about the Tournament 22 in full. Once the forging's finished, we'll announce Tournament 24. This is a stream right now. I want to, as I say, I want to do more streams when I get the free time to do them. You know, like this, doing tier list quizzes, going on my Xbox and let's playing games. I just need to get more used to setting up. Could you put the Elite challenge on here? Maybe Elite, possibly. I want to get more used and more comfortable to just doing live streams, so I can just set it up, put the webcam on, put my microphone on, hit start recording, and then just start recording for a couple of hours, and just smooth, quick, easy content to get out there with no issues. But yeah, I just need to get used to doing it more, because as I say, I haven't done a live stream since 3 months ago when we did the Halo anniversary stream, and that was 3 months ago, and I said I wanted to make streams more regular back then. And it's been 3 months. You can also throw podcasts into that, but that kind of falls under streams as well. And then the only other thing on this list is the top 10s and the quizzes. So we just uploaded episode 10. I have plans to do one more quiz with Smokey and Snars, and then I have plans to do 2 more top 10 episodes. One which has already been planned with Irish. We've been planning it for like over a year and just haven't filmed it. And then another one which will be the last one we do on Halo 5. Now, I know so there's not many viewers on my channel care for the quizzes or the top 10s, because obviously NWOH is the most important content. But I enjoy it. Both series were a fun idea in COVID time when we had all this free time, and I enjoyed setting them up. I enjoyed starting the series, and I've enjoyed doing them when we get the chance to do them. The problem at this point is it is delaying me doing other content. So the plan now is to just finish up on Halo 5, bench it for a little while, and then maybe some point in the future bring it back on Halo Infinite. The quizzes, I don't know if we'll bring it back. I need people. The only way the quizzes work is if people want to do them, and the people that want to do them have enough of a career for me to find questions about them. The top 10s could bring that back, and we could do 100 episodes. I've got there's so many potential lists of the Halo jumping related that we could do that are just easy. easy, make a list, pick 10 and choices, get 1 or 2 people to do them with me, record a video, edit it, bam, we're done. The quizzes, it's a lot harder because you need people that want to do it. You need people that have got a, I can't just get, I don't know. I can't get, I don't know, worker of meme, let's say, because he's a new guy. He's not been around long enough for me to find enough questions about him to make a quiz episode out of him. Also, I need people that can actually remember stuff, because I know Elite, if you did it, you can't remember dog shit about your career. So there's no point in having you on a quiz episode, because you'd be lucky if you get one answer correct. But it's not never say never. The quizzes might come back. The top 10 videos could definitely come back on Infinite. But for now, I want to finish it up on Halo 5. Put it on the back burner for a little bit so we can focus on just 2 things really. NWOH episodes and live streaming. Focus on them with the occasional other video, like a vlog or something else possibly. And then once we've been doing that for a while, and we're caught up on NWOH, we're hosting tournaments more regularly, hopefully, and I'm just in a good place life-wise to regularly upload content. Then once we're in a good position, maybe then we could bring back the top 10s and possibly the quizzes in the future. But that's all ifs and buts. For now, as I say, this is the plan for the top 10s, this is the plan for the quizzes, and then we'll see what happens in the future. So that basically covers it in terms of current plans for the future with the channel. We still need to film. We still need to film all this stuff. Obviously, I haven't been to France yet, so I haven't filmed this. Same with this here. I need to finish forging to do this. This won't take long, so I could just do this whenever. So, yeah. MMO might actually have enough questions. He's probably been around. MMO's probably been around long enough for me to think of questions about his career. MMO could do it. But that's not going to be until way in the future, because he's not going to be able to do a Halo 5 one, so it's not going to be till Infinite. And I don't know when I'm bringing it back on Infinite, whether it's going to be in 2025, maybe 2026, maybe never. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan for the future. And yeah, so the focus right now is... We're in France next week. Film the vlog. Next video, maybe the next video that gets uploaded might actually be the vlog. Because, as I say, I haven't filmed this top 10 yet with Irish. I need to do that with him. Haven't filmed this. Can't do this until we film this. So yeah, maybe the next video that comes out is the vlog. And then apart from that, video wise might be nothing, and I can actually just focus all in on forging, and then maybe then we do just announce the tournament. What comps are going on right now? You know what? I can check that for you, Vulcan. I can check that for you live on the live stream. Let's go find out. I can tell you. I gotta shoot. All right, see you, Elliot. Smokey's course is still going on. That's been extended until some point in March, maybe the end of March. He's extended it again, Vulcan, so you have more time. Joey's course has just started. Irish's course, next tournament, has just started. Elite's Tournament 2 has just started. I know Flame is probably going to be hosting again. Announce it some point in February. So five tournaments to do. And I'm pretty sure... Well, either Joey or Elite's course will be the first one to end. I know you don't do them in any sort of order, but Joey's course... Oh, sorry, I thought you meant... Oh, you meant you meant real life comps. Yeah, rip. I know Henry's hosting a comp sometime in March, but he hasn't announced it yet. And then the only other comp that I know is going on right now, Vulcan, is Dion is hosting a comp in 2 weeks. So I'm in France next weekend, and then the weekend after, Dion is hosting a comp on the Sunday. So that doesn't really work for you because you've got to somehow get back to uni on Sunday night. So I don't know if you're going to be able to do that. So probably your next comp you can do is Henry's, but it's sometime in March. But I don't know when in March. So that answers that question. And I think we've covered everything. So as I say, maybe the next video that comes out is the vlog. Then, I don't know, this, possibly this. Maybe I'll just focus, maybe content-wise, I'll just focus more on doing streams and podcasts for now. We'll see. But in the meantime, forging is going to be the next thing, and hosting Tournament 24 is going to be the next step. So that covers everything I wanted to say about future planning. And we've been waffling on for about half hour. So I think we're at a point now where not many people have voted. The only 2 people that have voted have been Cyan and Vulcan. So I have to choose. And to be honest, I know more. I know you voted first, Cyan, so you should get first dibs. But I know a lot more about Resident Evil stuff, and I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. If Halo wasn't my number 1 priority, then it would be Resident Evil. Resident Evil is number 2. So we're gonna do Halo missions first, and then we're gonna do the Resident Evil, and we've got about an hour and a half, just under ish, to do all that. So yeah. So now we're just gonna go into doing some tier lists, and I'm gonna chat about that for the rest of the stream. And answer anyone's questions if anyone has any questions. So, Halo missions. This is... I managed to find this, actually, because I had to dig around. This is every numbered Halo mission in all of the Halo games, the Bungie games and the 343 games. Although, I'm not actually sure... I don't know, is Halo Reach on here? Halo 4, Halo 5. I don't actually think Halo Reach is on this list. They've called it Halo 6. That's funny. No, I don't think Halo Reach is actually on this tier list, which is kind of a rip. But I guess we'll go with this. Yeah, I guess we'll do this. The first thing I'm going to do is this. Did I write these? Is this default? Is this saved? Because I feel like I was going to use this bottom tier as a haven't played yet. That looks like something I would write. So I haven't finished Halo Infinite. I've barely got started on it, and I haven't touched it in like probably over a year. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to dump all of these in here because I can't rank them because I haven't played them. I don't know anything about the missions really. And so instead we're going to do the rest. I can rank the start of Infinite because I've played that, but all of these other ones I can't rank. So yeah, so we'll start from the beginning, I guess. And I guess actually no, I'll change that. Halo 5 lol. I'm sure there'll be some C tier missions. There'll be some missions that I put in C tier that are not just Halo 5. In fact, I know there will be. But yeah, S, God tier. A, great. B, okay. Yeah, I need to maybe pick... Maybe H, you know what, I had that... Oh, you know what, I closed it, actually. Let me bring it back up again. I had the video schedule. So the list at the bottom here is the order of the videos, but higher up, actually, I have a list of other ideas. So Halo Infinite, but that's not going to happen. That's a maybe. This isn't going to happen. Sorry, this is never going to happen. But then I have a list of games here that I have as ideas for Let's Playing. So I started Let's Playing this, never finished it. Started Let's Playing this, never finished it. And then all these other games, and there it is, Halo Infinite campaign. That was on the list of many games that I was like, oh, maybe I could Let's Play this. Oh, and actually, one of the other ideas I could do for a stream as well that I was thinking about, not just obviously Let's Playing games, not just doing this tier list laptop live streams. The other live stream ideas I had was to do maybe like set up a Q&A session with where you guys send your questions in, whether that's before the live stream or actually during the live stream, and then I'll answer them, because I think that would be a cool way to sort of interact with the jumping community. If they ask me questions about, my career or my course or stuff in the past that you'd like to know about, just anything Halo jumping related that is that I can talk about, basically. Yeah. So anyway, sorry. Back to the point. So we're going to start with Halo 1. Rip Halo Reach. Apparently, we're not going to rank Halo Reach in this, and instead we're going to just start from Halo 1. With you guys can play along at home as well, like with each of these individual missions, where you would put it. Pillar of Autumn, the first ever mission we played that the world got to see in Halo 1. I think this is a good mission. I say good, which means it could probably go in okay, but it's the first mission. It's iconic because it's the first time you get to play as Master Chief. It's pretty basic. There's not a lot to it. But I enjoy the walking around in the Pillar of Autumn. I especially enjoy when you go into the thin little corridors and it's really dark, spooky. So I'm going to put it in great. Mission 2, the Halo, the first time you play on the Halo ring. I think this mission is not as good, so I'm going to put it in okay for now. I might also move some of these around later on. So I'm going to put it in okay. I don't think it's as good as the first mission. I think it gets a little bit. I don't enjoy when you get the Warhog and then you have to go around to the different locations and save the different people. I just didn't really get into it and didn't really enjoy it all that much. But it's still a good mission. It's not a bad mission. Truth and Reconciliation. You get into the Covenant spaceship and you go and rescue Keys. I think this is also a great mission. It obviously has that horrible room when you first get into the spaceship where you have the invisible elites with the energy swords, which is just absolutely disgusting if you're playing on Legendary. But I still enjoy this mission. I think it's the first mission where you get a sniper rifle. You have that at the beginning. Yeah, I like this mission. Silent Cartographer. I know a lot of people really like Silent Cartographer. Again, I think it's okay. Some people might be surprised that I'm not putting it in great. I think it's all right. I only think it's okay for me. This is just, again, I'm ranking this based on my personal experiences with these missions. And Silent Cartographer is not a bad mission in any way. It's just, yeah, it was just one of those missions again where it was just like you were just driving around a lot. I did enjoy when you go underground into the inside base, but yeah, it's not as memorable. Maybe that's the best way to describe it. It's not as memorable to me as some of the other missions, including Assault on the Control Room. I think this is a great mission. It's really long, I'll admit that. But I have a blast all the way through. Actually, I have a blast most of the way through. Some of it does get a little bit repetitive towards the end when you're doing the same copy and paste room for like the second or third time. But I do enjoy this mission. I enjoy driving around. I love it when you get the tank for the first time. And then when you get to the end and you see the big, huge control room for the first time. In fact, I enjoy it so much, I'm going to put it ahead of Truth and Reconciliation. 343 Guilty Spark. I absolutely love this mission. Some people might be surprised to see me putting it in God tier, but I love this mission. It's the first time you see the Flood. It's probably the only mission in Halo 1 where you're actually genuinely made to feel like scared of stuff. Obviously the music plays a big part in that, but I just love this mission. And then it ends with you meeting Guilty Spark as well. Obviously that cutscene, the infamous cutscene when you find the dead soldiers and then you watch the video, like the soldiers' perspective where the Flood come in and you see the Flood, and then immediately after the cutscene ends, obviously the Flood come and attack you. I just love it. I think it's great. Yeah, it's S for me. Which then brings us from God tier down to absolute hellhole that is the library. You will not be surprised that I, like many Halo fans, do not like the library. I don't hate the library. I know a lot of people hate the library because it's just the same. It's just the same corridor, copy and pasted 10 or 12 times where you fight Flood, and that's it. And it's just hell on earth because the Flood just swarm you. I don't hate the mission, but I will admit I don't enjoy it either when I get to it. So yeah, is it bad? Maybe it's the only mission in Halo 1 that some fans might actually call bad. But yeah, I'm putting it in C tier. 2 Betrayals. Now you might be surprised to find that I'm also putting 2 Betrayals in C, simply because it's just Assault on the Control Room again, but in reverse. And this time you have to fight Covenant, Flood, and Sentinels. And I just don't enjoy it. I like the opening cutscene. I like the opening cutscene when Guilty Spark turns on you and then unleashes the Sentinels on you, and then like literally the cutscene ends and you're thrown into the mission and you're getting lasered to death by Sentinels. So you've got to be on your game straight away. But it just gets a little bit boring to me. I just didn't enjoy it. Just simply because it was like playing this in reverse again. And I know obviously the last 2 missions are very similar, have similar problems. Like Keys is basically just Truth and Reconciliation, but again, and the More is just basically Pillar of Autumn. But they have at least a little bit of noticeable differences to them. Which for that reason I'm going to put both in. Oh no, I tell a lie. Sorry, I am going to put the More in S tier because of the hog run at the end. I'm going to put Keys here below Halo because again, it's mainly just copy and paste this mission, but with the Flood as well, but with slight differences, with slight changes and modifications to the mission. Where you obviously start off in like the swamp or something, then you get into the ship and you have to drop back into the swamp again. And then at the very end when you find Keys and he's just all like he's all flooded. Yeah, it's not bad. This mission isn't bad. This mission is bad. This mission is also not great, but this mission isn't bad. This one's okay. The More, I know I just said it's basically Pillar of Autumn, copy and pasted. That's probably doing it an injustice. You do go into other locations in this mission. I know you do similar hallways again, and you have to go through the fin tunnels and up and down, all that stuff. But there are differences. It's obviously when you get to the middle room where you have to blow up the core, the ship cores and all that stuff. And then obviously the Warhog run at the end is iconic. It's not as iconic for me as the other Warhog run, which we're going to get to. But the reason for that is because I didn't play Halo 1 when it came out. I didn't get to play Halo 1 until Combat Anniversary came out, which was in 2011. And then obviously again, I then played it again when MCC came out in 2014. The first Halo game I experienced was Halo 3. So I have a bigger affiliation to the Warhog run in Halo 3 than I do in Halo 1. But this is still iconic. It's also a super sad rip when Foehammer gets killed. And then obviously the ending is just awesome. So yeah, so that's Halo 1. Halo 2. Halo 2. Right. I'm just going to get this right off the bat straight away. I'm not a big fan of Halo 2. I know some people love Halo 2, and some people are like, Halo 2 is the best Halo game, or it's their favourite Halo game, or whatever. I've only ever played Halo 2 on MCC, and my experience of it, I just didn't enjoy it. Most of the missions are just to me, and I don't think there was any one mission I can remember that was bad, but nothing really stood out to me. Nothing super memorable. So I won't be putting any Halo 2 missions in S tier. They'll probably be going in A, B, or C, from what I can remember. Starting with Cairo Station. I do remember this mission quite a lot. I do have fun with this one. I actually really like the opening cutscene with keys. You get your medal and the award ceremony and all that stuff, and then obviously the mission actually kicks off. I enjoy that. I'm trying to. I'll be honest with you. I'm looking at these pictures and I'm just trying to make sure I don't mix up any of these missions in my head. Right. Outskirts, I do enjoy. I do like Outskirts, and I also really like I like Metropolis more than Outskirts, because I think, if I'm remembering this right, Metropolis is when you get the Warhog and you have to go across that huge bridge and through the highway and stuff, and then you have to get onto the Scarab, destroy the Scarab. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Anyone in the chat, anyone that's here. I'm pretty sure Metropolis is the one when you have to jump on the Scarab and destroy it. And that's not in Outskirts. But I enjoyed both. Either way, I enjoyed both of these missions. If I've got it the wrong way round and Outskirts is the mission when you have to do the Scarab and the Warhog and you drive across the bridge, then I'll swap these two around. But I'm pretty sure it's Metropolis when that happens. So Metropolis is ahead of Outskirts. The Arbiter. First mission is the Arbiter. You go to that, gassy space location, whatever it is. Oh, you have to kill another elite, don't you? Another member of the Covenant, like a traitor or something. And then that's when you discover Guilty Spark again. Trying to remember. Again, I think this is only okay. I can't really remember a lot of this. And the same with this one. So I'm just going to put those in okay, because I can't really remember a lot. I know the Flood appear at one point in the middle of one of these two missions. But they really are not that memorable to me. So I'm just going to put them in B. Delta Halo. I quite enjoyed this mission, actually. So I'm going to put it... I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it ahead of Keys. You get the tank. You go around the Halo ring for the first time quite a lot. I can't remember where the mission ends, but I know in either this mission or in Regret, you go into the underwater section, and I think that section's really cool. I can't remember which way around. I can't remember which way around it is, but either way, I'm going to put both of them back to back. I think the underwater... I enjoy the tank section in Delta Halo, when you're just destroying everything and you're going through like the ancient stone temple section, whatever it is, in a tank. And I really enjoyed the underwater section. I also didn't mind... I know some people hate the boss fight against the Prophet of Regret, but I didn't hate it as much. I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't great, but I didn't have as much trouble with it as some people. Actually, I do remember I had one experience when I was playing through the game on Legendary with a friend, and we killed the Prophet, and then I think you have to wait like 10 seconds for the cutscene to kick in, but we killed him, and then one of the other like Sentinels or Covenant or whatever it is that's fighting with him in the boss fight, killed me. So we killed the Prophet, but then I died before the cutscene could kick in. So we had to restart it all, because obviously it was like all skulls on or something. So when that happens, if you die, you automatically go back to the last checkpoint or something. So we had to do the fight again, even though we killed them, because we didn't hold out long enough to get to the cutscene, which was just a big fat rip. Oh God, what is this? I can't even remember. Sacred Icon, Quarantine. I can't remember either of these. Anyone in the chat want to help me out with these two? I can't remember either of these two missions. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I honestly can't remember, so I'm going to put them both in C, just because I can't remember anything about them. So, yeah. Sorry. Gravemind. That's the one where you get the huge opening cutscene at the start of the mission. And then, if I remember correctly, you then get teleported onto the Covenant ship. And then as soon as that cutscene ends, you're instantly getting shot at by Covenant in front of you, which is just an absolute bitch fest if you're playing this mission on Legendary. I'm going to put it here. Uprising. I can remember the last two missions. I'm trying to see if I can remember Uprising. I'm not sure. Uprising. I can remember the last two missions. I'm trying to see if I can remember Uprising. Uprising. I can't remember. No, I can't remember this one either. This is really bad. This just goes to show how unmemorable Halo 2 was for me, because I just can't remember this mission. I can't remember any of these 3 missions. If someone can tell me something that happens in these missions that might jog my memory, then I'll move them. But for now, I'm just going to put them in there because I just can't remember anything about them. High Charity. This was my favorite. Nope. This was my favorite mission in Halo 2. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if I'm misremembering this, but this might have been the mission where at the end of High Charity, the second prophet gets killed by the flood. I'm not sure if I'm confusing that with this mission or one of these missions or something, or this mission maybe. But I can remember High Charity. I enjoy it. Just the spectacle. I mean, even the picture alone just shows off how huge and monstrously big High Charity is. Yeah, I can remember. Well, I can remember this mission for starters. And then the last mission, Halo 2. Right off the bat, I've got issues with this mission because it's the last mission of Halo 2, and you don't play as the Chief. You finish the Halo campaign and you're playing as the Arbiter, and I like the Arbiter just as much as anyone, but you got to finish as the Chief, surely. Cough, cough, Halo 5. I don't think I'm going to put this in A. I'll put it here out of respect for the fact that it's the last mission, but there's no Warhog run. You don't play as the Chief. The boss fight was pretty cool. And I can recall the mission, like the whole mission in general, being quite memorable, and certainly the spectacle of it stood out. But I can't justify putting it in A because I have too many issues with it. So, yeah, we'll go with that. We've got about an hour left. Right, Halo 3, my favourite campaign. Starting right off the bat with the first mission in the jungle. The mighty jungle. Right off the bat, we're going to put this here. Great mission. You're back as the Chief. You have the Arbiter on your side. You have Johnson. You have the Marines crawling through the jungle. Gotta hate those jackal snipers, don't you, Swan? Yeah, great mission. Crow's Nest, equally great mission. Not as good as Sierra 117, but I still enjoy going around the base. You do have to backtrack, which probably is what lets it down. But I still love this mission. Great mission as well. Savo Highway, another great mission. In fact, I'm going to put it ahead of Crow's Nest because you get to drive around in this mission. You can also like speed run this mission, and if you hit all the tricks and stuff, you could get it done in like 20-30 minutes, or less than that. Yeah, another great mission. The Storm. You attack the Covenant base, and then it ends with that huge spectacle where the wormhole or the portal opens up, and then the Flood land. I do enjoy this mission, but I don't think I enjoy it as much as the first 3 missions. Yeah, we'll go with that. Floodgate. It's basically the 4th mission again, but in reverse, and this time you're fighting the Flood. I marked the Halo 1 missions down for the ones where you just copy and paste backtrack, so I will have to mark this one down as well. Also, if my memory is correct, it's pretty short. I'm pretty sure this mission is really short. So I'm going to put this in B. It's good. It's not a bad mission, but it was the worst of the first 5 missions for me. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that. The Ark. So now you go through the portal. You end up on the Ark. You're on this huge world. And this is a long-ass mission. You have so many different sections to this mission. You first have the actual initial landing where you traveling around. You're getting your bearings. You're getting your bearings. Killing some Covenant. You then mark out a landing zone. You have that scene where you have the huge ship forward onto Dawn, I think it is, that lands, or it doesn't land, like it hovers above and then it drops all the guys off, and then you get your tank. You then go into section 2 where you drive around in the tank, which is really cool. You then hit the Forerunner base where you go inside the base very briefly, do some stuff in there. Activate the hover bridge and the Marines go across it. You then get into section 3 where you come out the base and then you're in a tank again. You have to kill like 2. I can't remember if you have to kill 1 scarab or 2 scarabs. And then the 4th phase, once you get through all of that, you then get to another on foot section where you're going through a Forerunner base. You have that really cool cutscene where you get the map where you discover the Ark, like you discover all the what the Ark looks like, and then it ends up with that cutscene where the Covenant come in and attack you. Like for some reason, the Arbiter goes on a walk for some reason. Yeah, and then you get to the final room, and you have to fight all those elites with like energy swords and a grav. One of them has a chieftain, has a grav hammer and stuff. This is a great mission, basically, and I enjoy this mission. Probably here. Okay. The only reason I'm not putting it as my favourite Halo 3 mission thus far is because it is very long. It's a super long mission and it can get a bit draining at times. And that probably is the only big negative of it. Yeah. Alright, the Covenant. This is going straight into S, and in fact, it's going right to the top. This is easily top 2. Probably it's between 2 missions for me as to which one will be top of the list. I absolutely love this mission. First the beach section, then when you go to the tower, You beat the tower, and then obviously the bad stuff happens where like Johnson gets kidnapped. Then you get in the Wasp, and then you fly across the sea to the other tower. You do that. You then get your tank. You go into the snowy section, and then just the music from the tank onwards, it's just so great. You fight the 2 scarabs. I count 2 scarabs. Repeat, 2 scarabs. I just love it. Honestly, it's such a good mission, and the music plays a big part in that. And then after all that, you then get back on foot, and you, Spark, and the Arbiter team up with the Flood to take down the Prophet of Truth. You have that huge long hallway where you finish off the last of the Covenant. Truth has his like big speech until the Arbiter kills him, and then after all that, then the Flood betray you, and you have to escape, going back down the corridor, killing all the Flood, and then get the last cutscene with Cortana. Like Chief can see Cortana again. I just love this mission. If it's not number 1, it's going to be number 2. I think it's probably going to be number 2, and you could probably guess what number 1 is within about the next 2 minutes, but we'll get to that when we get to it. First, though, we have Cortana. Cortana. I know a lot of people have issues with this mission, and I'll admit it's not my favourite mission in the world, but I do still enjoy it. I think I'm going to put it... yeah. I'll be fair. I'll put it at the top of B. I almost considered putting it at the bottom of A, but I'll put it at the top of B. I do enjoy going through High Charity in its flood-infested pit of hell. But I do understand why people don't like this mission. It just gets it does feel a bit like way out of hand with how much flood you have to fight in this mission. But I do really like the cutscene when she finally finds Cortana again and they're reunited. Yeah, I'll put it at the top of B. It's not, like I say, anything that's in B is not bad. Even C, like, I don't think these 2 missions are bad. In fact, the only stuff I've put in C right now that I don't think... Everything that's in C right now is either... Like, these 2 missions aren't bad, I just think they're eh. And these 3 I've only put in C because I can't remember them. So, yeah. Which brings us to number 1, Halo. I think this is going to go top. I think I'm going to put this ahead of the Covenant. I just, again, absolutely love this mission. The snow... I mean, the opening cutscene, for starters, that's the sight of them flying into the arc, back into the arc, into the ring, and crash landing. That opening cutscene, just the spectacle of it, looks great as well. Getting to the tower, climbing up the tower, holding out at the top of the tower to get into the control room, reuniting with Johnson and Spark. Obviously then the cutscene when Spark kills Johnson is tragic. The fight with 343 Guilty Spark isn't great because it's very short and very easy. That's probably the only negative of this mission. The cutscene after the fight when Johnson actually dies is hugely sad and hugely tragic. And then everything after that is just great. Escaping from the control room, escaping through the corridors, fighting off the Flood and any sentinels that attack you. And then you get to Johnson's Warhog, and I love the Warhog run in Halo 1, but as I said earlier, Halo 3 was the first Halo game I played, so I remember the Halo 3 Warhog run more than I remember the Halo 1 Warhog run. Is the Halo 1 Warhog run more memorable? Possibly, yes. But the Halo 3 Warhog run is just amazing to me. And again, the music plays a big part to it. So I'm going to put it at number 1. I don't think Halo ever got as good as, from the campaign point of view, never got as good as this mission. And then it truly was an end of an era from this point onwards, because I like Halo 4, but I'm not even sure if I'm going to put any of the missions in S tier. Let's find out. Is this right? Is there only 8 missions in Halo 4? Is there really only 8? Is there really only 8 missions in Halo 4? Huh. Don't remember there being only 8 missions, to be honest. Okay, forward onto Dawn. The first mission in like 5 years since this, because obviously we had Halo Reach, but that wasn't Chief. So this was the first mission Halo fans got in 5 years where they got to play as the Chief again. This is a really basic mission. It's just getting to grips with the game, with Halo again. And the first mission, obviously, under 343 Industries. I think this is an okay mission. But I'm only going to put it... I'll put it about here. It's an okay mission. It's extremely basic. You just learn it. It's basically just learning the game again, learning the controls. I love that. I love that you get to see Master Chief assassinate someone if you get behind one of the elites, which is obviously you could do that in Halo Reach, but this was the first time you could do it as Chief, which was kind of cool. And then the outside space section, I enjoyed as well. All right, mission 2, and then you get sucked into Requiem at the end. I actually enjoy Requiem more than I enjoy Forward Unto Dawn. I love the opening shot when you land and you're in the first section, and then you walk up a hill or something you can't really see because the sunlight is like blocking it off, and you get to the top of the hill and then the sunlight disappears and you can see this huge Forerunner structure. I think that's a really cool shot, and I just enjoy this mission more than the first one. I think the spectacle is great. The fight sequences are okay with the Covenant, and then you have the cutscene at the end when you see the Prometheans for the first time. Yeah, I enjoy it. Forerunner. I'm going to put this one... I'll keep them all together right now. This one is the weakest of the first 3 missions. You fight the Prometheans for the first time. The problem I have with this mission is there's just too many of the same areas, basically. You just do the same copy and paste rooms quite a lot, or copy and paste sequences where you fight the same enemies. You fight a room full of Prometheans, then you get to the next room and it's a room full of Covenant, then you get to the room after that and it's Prometheans and Covenant, and then you just copy and paste again, and then the next room's just Prometheans, and it's a little bit too repetitive. And the rooms with the Prometheans, because it's the first time you fight them, you're not familiar with how they work unless you've played the game before, obviously, and they can just kick your ass really quite easily if you're not... it's almost a little bit harsh on you the first time you fight them. But I do enjoy the chaos of the big final room when everyone's fighting each other, all the Prometheans, all the Covenant are fighting each other, and you get to the switch where you release the Didact. And then you have the cutscene where the Didact is all, yes, I'm free, blah, 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 I'm going to take control of everybody. Even though I know people have issues with the Didact as a character. Yeah. Although I do enjoy the escape at the end after that cutscene with the ghost. It's like the Warhog run, but the difference is obviously it's on a ghost. Excuse me. Yeah. Alright, mission 4, Infinity. So this one is in the swamp, as I recall, and I'm pretty sure this mission... about halfway through, you get to the human. You catch up with the humans that have crash landed. You're in their base. You're fighting your way through their base. You do the tank, and then you get to the end with the tank, and you've got to defend the position or defend your post or something. Again, this isn't a bad mission to my memory, but it's just not that memorable. It's not that standouty. So I'm going to put this in B. Okay, I didn't want to put it that low. In fact, you know, I enjoy keys more than I enjoy this mission, so I'm going to put it down here. Again, I don't think it's bad. It's just not super memorable to me. Reclaimer. This one I enjoyed more than Infinity. And that's about it, really. The opening cutscene... oh no, sorry, the cutscene towards the end of the mission, when like he goes into that vision section, I find that really cool, but I'm not sure it actually makes a lot of sense. That section. Oh, nope. I'll put it here. Okay, can I swap these around, please? Thank you. Yeah, I'll put it there. Shutdown. This is my favourite mission in Halo 4. Starting off on the human ship just before it's about to leave, and then you get in your own ship, and then you have that, and then you fly out. I love the flying around in this mission, flying to the different towers. I just find it really cool. And then the actual, like when you go inside the towers, the spectacle alone is what does it for me. It just looks gorgeous. It looks like a Halo game, just the sight alone. And then the actual mission itself, again, so I get why some people might find it repetitive, but I enjoyed going through the towers and stuff. Again, I have a problem with the Prometheans as a whole, fighting them, but I still enjoyed this mission, and it's my favourite mission. It's still not good enough to get into A, but I'll put it at the top of... In fact, well, actually... No, I will put it in A, but I'm putting it at the bottom of A. Composer. You finally escape Requiem. You get to a space station with another Halo ring. The Didact is attacking the space station to get his hands on whatever it was he was trying to get his hands on in the game. I can't remember. This mission, I'm going to put about here. Nope. Here. I'm going to put it ahead of Forerunner, ahead of Reclaimer, ahead of Infinity. It's alright. It's just okay. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's bad. But yeah. That'll do it for me. And then the last mission, Midnight. Well, I actually have a real issue with this mission because I think it has a great opening sequence, a terrible middle, and then an okay-ish end. Again, I think the best things in this game are the flying sections. I really enjoy the flying sections. Then you crash land inside the Didact ship, and it's just not memorable. It's just the same copy and paste rooms multiple times over. Although I do have a super memorable personal experience from doing this mission. Me and Elite were playing it together, and Elite had never finished the campaign before. And Ironbug Champion was like amongst a few different people that were in the Xbox party. And about halfway through the mission, he just blurts out, "Oh yeah, it's really sad that Cortana dies." And Elite, because he'd never played the game before, didn't know that. So Ironbug just basically spoiled the end of the game for him, even though we were like halfway through the last mission. And I think Elite hated Ironbug for the rest of eternity after that. So yeah, that was pretty funny. I'm going to put this mission here. I could maybe put it ahead of Requiem and put it as my second favourite Halo 4 mission. But I have such an issue with the middle section of this mission. And I get why fans don't like the end of the mission, because there's no boss fight, really, at all. It's just basically a cutscene with a quick time event. Or like a, press a button and that's it kind of thing. And then Cortana dies at the end, which is all sad and stuff. Yeah. Also, the legendary ending is just not worth it. Yeah, I'll put Midnight here. I'll just leave it there. Which just brings us on to Halo 5. Oh boy, okay. What do I have to say about Halo 5? Great forge. Enjoyable matchmaking. Terrible campaign. Osiris. First mission playing as Locke and his team. Amazing opening cutscene. The mission is just okay. It's just eh. I'm gonna put it. Actually, is it worse than the worst Halo 4 mission? Probably not. You know, I think I probably undersold Cairo. I'm gonna move Cairo up a little bit. Because I actually enjoy Osiris more than I enjoy these two missions, but at the same time I don't think Cairo is that bad. Yeah, I'm going to swap these two around. Okay, so I'll put Osiris about here. There's a boss fight at the end against some elite, if I recall correctly, which was also eh. But then again, the first time I played the game, it wasn't on Legendary. It was on, like, normal, so yeah. Blue team, first of only 3 missions, playing as Master Chief. I enjoyed this mission more than I enjoyed Osiris. I'm going to put this one probably about here. I enjoy playing as Chief. The cutscene in the middle when he sees Cortana in the vision is really weird, but finding a way through the space station at the start is cool, and then the flying around at the end and hitting the targets I also enjoyed. So yeah, I'll put it there. Glassed. That one is when you go to the planet. Okay, this is going to be annoying. So this, I believe, if I recall correctly, these 3 missions are all the ones that take place on that alien planet with the space elevator and stuff. I can't remember what happens in what mission, and to be honest, none of it is all that memorable to me. You reckon Blue Team is that good? It's not. I enjoy it, but it's not my favorite Halo. It's not my favorite mission in Halo 5. I don't think. I can't remember. I really can't remember these 3 missions here: Glassed, Unconfirmed, and Evacuation. I know they all take place on the planet, on the alien planet that the Prometheans are attacking, and you basically get into the big base. You find Master Chief, then all hell breaks loose, and then you have to escape from the planet. No, they're just not. I'm sticking them down here. They're just not memorable. I can't remember a lot about them apart from the things I just said about the cutscene where you find Chief and they have their little like punchy punch fight, and then you have to escape up the space elevator or whatever it is. I'll put the last mission ahead of the first 2 missions because Evacuation I'm pretty sure has the fight, and you have to escape. You have to drive. You have to do a bit of a driving section, which was okay. But these 3 missions are just not memorable to me at all. So yeah, bye. Reunion. Okay, so if I recall correctly, Reunion is the second of 3 missions where you play as Chief, where you're now on the Promethean. I can't remember what the name of the planet was called. It's been so long since I played Halo 5's campaign. You're on the Promethean planet and you have to fight the Collector or whatever his name was, like multiple times, and you're trying to find Cortana. This is bad. I can't remember. You know what? Hold on. We're going to do a quick cheat. Halo 5 campaign. Hey, let's just quickly cheat for a second. Genesis. Okay. Ba, 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 ba. The Warden Eternal, that was what he was called. I couldn't remember what he was called. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, again, I enjoyed this mission. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as Blue Team, though. So I'm going to put it just below Blue Team. Although, actually, thinking about it, I just said that Blue Team isn't my favourite Halo 5 mission. Is it this mission? I'm trying to remember 7 and 8. I can't remember if mission 7... I can't remember which mission out of mission 7 and 8 is the one where you have to fly around in the Banshee and destroy like the giant Covenant structure that's like inside a canyon and stuff. Like it's like a giant scarab, but it's not a scarab, it's like a flying scarab or something. And you have to get inside the ship and you have to blow it up, and then you have to escape. I can't remember, I feel like that must be mission 8. And mission 7 is just the one where you're just walking around San Helios fighting the Covenant. Or fighting the Prometheans. You know what? Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe mission 6 is the one that's my favourite. It's either mission 6 or mission 10. I can't remember. You know what? I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to put this one ahead of Blue Team. But I might be misremembering. Swords of San Helios. Again, I can remember it, which is a good start. But I don't remember much in this mission being that great. So I'm just going to dump it. I'm going to dump it at the bottom of C. This one, if I'm remembering correctly, is the one where you fight the giant flying Covenant scarab ship thing. So I'm going to put it... I'm going to put it about here. Battle of Sunayon. That's the one on the base over the sea. As I recall, that mission's really short. I'm going to put that here. Genesis. Okay, so this is the one where Locke's team, Osiris, gets onto... Genesis. I forgot the name of the planet again. In fact, it literally says it right there. Genesis. Okay, so this is the mission where... LOL. This is the mission where... Locke's team Osiris gets onto Genesis, and they meet the Guilty Spark replacement, the one that's like got a really happy voice. Okay, you know, we're running out of time here, so I'm gonna have to speed run through some of these now. This one's got the one where you go down that giant like you fly down like the whole thing tilts or something, and you're sliding down to the bottom, which I really enjoyed. I can't remember which one of these two missions was my favourite, Reunion or Genesis. I don't know if I'm misremembering them, so I'm just going to put Genesis at the top as my favourite Halo 5 mission. The Breaking. This is the last of the 3 missions as the Master Chief, and it has that really sad ending where Cortana betrays the Chief and locks him up because she can't kill him. But she won't kill him because she loves the Chief, but she can't let the Chief stand in her way from doing her mission of killing humanity. Mission 10 is the one where you have to escape with vehicle eye thing. Yeah. I like this mission, but I know people hate this mission because you have to fight 3 Warden Eternals at one point. But I think I enjoy this mission. I enjoy this mission. I probably would hate this mission if I played it on Legendary. But I enjoy this mission more than I enjoy this. Maybe I'll put it about here. I'll put it about here. And then the last mission, Guardians, Locke. This mission is just not memorable to me. It's for a final mission in a Halo game, it's just not memorable at all. the only thing that really stands out as memorable that I can picture in my head exactly how it goes is the very end, when you have to get to the switch and like Locke's crawling because the Guardian and Cortana's trying to push him back, and then you do it and he hits the switch and it forces the Guardian that's got Cortana on it it forces it through the teleporter or the wormhole or whatever it is, and it just. But apart from that, the whole mission is just. It's just here's 30 enemies on the screen, all trying to kill you. Gun your way through them. There's no skill to it. There's no tactics. You just gotta. It's just literally a war battle the whole way through, and you just gotta. It's like the best man wins. Just gunning your way through all of the Prometheans. It's just no. It's just not great. In fact, it's so bad. Oh, it's so not great. I'm just going to put it here. I'm just going to put it in the middle of B. In fact, you know what? I don't even think it's that good. I'm going to put it all the way down here. I'm going to put it at the bottom of B. I just don't enjoy this mission. As a final Halo 5 mission, as a final mission in a Halo game, it's just not great. It's just not great. Okay, I'm going to speed up here. We're going to get through these last 4. So this is how much of Infinite I've played so far. And I'll be honest with you, I'm struggling to remember these two here. I can remember these two pretty well. This mission was pretty fun. So I'm going to put it next to Halo. I'm going to put it about here. Foundation, again, I enjoyed, but I don't think I enjoyed it as much as the first mission, if I'm remembering this right. So I'm going to put this one in the same spot as well. The third mission, I can't remember. I thought I could remember I can't remember these two missions either. So I'm just going to put them back down here at the bottom. I can't remember. I thought I could. I definitely have played these two missions, but I can't remember anything about either of them. I need to play Halo. I need to play Infinite again. I need to actually finish the campaign. Yeah. Okay. We're going to move on because I'm running out of time here. So, and I've got about half hour. So this is the other tier list that we're going to do today. So I said earlier, if Halo wasn't my #1 game for content because of obviously Halo jumping, then my favorite video game series would probably be Resident Evil. And so I was looking through the website to see if I could find something good related to Resident Evil. And there were a lot of tier lists that came up, which were the games, but some of them had games missing. Others had games on that I don't think should count towards this list. There's some on this list that I don't even remember. So, like, I think... I'm not sure if I'm misremembering this, but Resident Evil Survivor. Can I get a list of Resident Evil games? Yeah, I absolutely love these games. Oh, is this? Oh, actually, yeah, I think this list has got it in game in order of like when the game was released. Which one was Resident Evil Survivor? It's a spin-off. That's why I can't remember it. Yeah, I've never played this. So the ones I've never played before, I'm just going to put in at the bottom. You don't have to help me, Science. Oh, well, unless you mean ranking them. But no, you don't have to help me with it, mate. I don't know if you meant like help you ranking them or help me playing it. But if you meant playing it, then it's all good, man. I just play it. I just play the games on my own normally. If you meant ranking it, again, I'm not as fussed because... Again, this is just my personal opinion, and if I've not played it before, it's the same as what I'm going to do with these Resident Evil games. If I've not played it before, I'm just going to rank it at the bottom. Never played. I'm not sure if you meant helping or playing. I'm not sure if you meant help ranking or helped playing. But, yeah. I've never played this game. I know this game, but I've never played it. I've not played this, and this is the sequel, so no. I know this game, but again, never played it. I've heard of this, but no. I've heard of this, but no. You can tell I'm a big Resident Evil fan. I've heard of most of these games, but not played them. And then... What's that? Does it say Operation Raccoon City? Yeah. Revelations 2, Umbrella. Yeah. Okay, I know everything else on the list, so we can rank based off of that. Oh, you meant playing. Okay. No, I normally play when I play a Halo game for the first time, or play a Halo game I've never played before. I normally will play it by myself just to enjoy the experience properly. Especially since Halo Infinite is open world, and I think part of the problem with why I haven't finished Infinite is because I just like to just wander around the open world too much. I downloaded, or I bought Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, which I believe is all 9 episodes of Star Wars in one game. But the problem, not to let's play it, just to actually just play the game. But I've never gotten that far into it because I just keep wandering around the open world, looking at every little detail, rather than just actually playing the game. But yeah, okay, Resident Evil. I love these games. I love the horror. I love the horror setting and the horror franchise aspect of it. I wouldn't say I'm a huge horror buff. Like, I'm not into horror. I'm not massively into horror movies. I don't go and seek out horror movies or anything like that. But I do love these games, and some of them in particular. Resident Evil 1, the original. I tried to do a Let's Play with Dom many years ago on a PC port of this game, and we uploaded about 6 parts to the game. This is a good game, but for its time, it's massively outdated. The graphics are just not good. You know, they're 90s. It's iconic. It's the first game ever released, but compared to future games, it's just... no. It's only okay. It's not bad, but it's only okay. Resident Evil 2, the original. Good game. It's been a long time since I played the originals, but to my memory, very good game. Probably gets into S tier. Going around Raccoon City, you play as Leon for the first time, who's my favourite character in Resident Evil. You have Claire, you have Sherry, you have Birkin. Birkin is the main villain in the game, and the virus he infects himself with makes it so he can't die. So every time you kill him, he turns into an even bigger, horrid monster, which then leads to the infamous final boss, where he's just basically a giant blob and a giant mouth attached to the back of the train that you're trying to escape in. Yeah, this is a great game. Resident Evil 3, the original, Nemesis. A lot of people that are not into Resident Evil know about Resident Evil just because of Nemesis and the infamous stars. This is another good game, but I don't enjoy it as much as Resident Evil 2. I think I'm going to put it in A tier. I was toying with putting it in S tier, but I'm going to put it in A tier. It's a good game. Of all of the original games, this is probably the one I remember the least about. Susane could probably judge this game better than I can, but I don't recall it being as memorable as Resident Evil 2 original. Code Veronica. I really like this game, and it's... me and Sane probably want this game to be the next game that they remake. You play as Claire, who was one of the main characters in Resident Evil 2. It takes place in a really cool location, a place called Rockford Island, which is this like super military base, which is really memorable. It has a cool little mansion section, which is really memorable. You get the return of Albert Wesker, who was seemingly killed in the first game. And you discover that he's now like semi-invincible because he injected himself with a virus that brought him back to life, and now he has superhuman powers. and he's the coolest fucking character in the whole series, and he's my favourite character. And then you go to Antarctica, and you go through the base in Antarctica, which again is really memorable to me, and is one of the most standout memories in all of Resident Evil, because, I mean, how many games exist, video games in the whole of video game history exist, where you can say you play in Antarctica? I'm going to put this at the top of A. Alright, Resident Evil 1, the remake from, I believe, 2002. This game is, like, Resident Evil started off, but all the problems I just said about it, the Resident Evil 1 remake fixes all of these problems. The graphics are much better, and actually I think the graphics still stand up to this day, and the game is over 20 years old. It mixes up the formula, so it's not just a copy and paste of the original Resident Evil 1 game, and you're just playing it on better graphics. It actually changes the story a little bit, for the better, in my opinion. Yeah, this is just an iconic game. This is up there near the top. Resident Evil 0. So this was made after the Resident Evil 1 remake, and this serves as a prequel, the prequel, to Resident Evil 1, that basically sort of explains the story before Resident Evil 1. I know some fans of this of the franchise. There are some fans of this franchise that love this game. There are some fans of the franchise that hate this game because of what it did to the story and the fact that the gameplay is not that memorable or not that great. Also, around this time, Resident Evil was getting a bit stale because all of these games take place on, I can't remember what it's called. It's called tank controls, I think. It basically sticks the camera in the corner of a room, like the corner, like you've got the corner of my bedroom right up there. The camera is fixed in one position, and your character's just wandering around. You go into the next room or the next corridor, the camera moves into a new position. You have no control over the camera, and people put up with it in this game, even in the remake. But by around Code Veronica, they were trying to make Resident Evil a lot fancier, a lot more like big explosions, big set pieces, enemies, all that stuff. And the tank controls were making it really difficult to... It limited what you could do with the game because of the tank camera and the tank controls. And the same problem exists in this game. It wants to do big... It has big, fancy set pieces, but it's very limited because of the tank controls. I'm pretty sure the camera can... The tank controls means you can't move the camera, but the camera does move. So you have like big hallways or big rooms, and the camera does have the ability to turn. And I think maybe the same thing exists in this game, but it's still very limiting. I still, nevertheless, enjoy this game. Do I enjoy it more than Code Veronica, though? I'm going to say yes, simply because I've played this game a lot more than I've played this game, and I've played this game more recently than I've played this game. But they're both, I do enjoy both of them. Resident Evil 4, the original. This is going top. I could let's play this game. I could do a whole stream. I could make a documentary about how much I love this game. The original. This, to me, this is my this isn't just my favorite Resident Evil game. This is my favorite video game I've ever played. I absolutely love this game. Everything I just said about the tank controls, this is the first game that fixes that. It goes to a third-person perspective. It completely revamps the gameplay, the controls, even the style, because this is the first game where Resident Evil turns into a bit more of an action-based game. This game still has plenty of horror in it, but there's definitely a lot more action in it. But you go and look up on YouTube documentaries, or like this game had a horrible production process. They changed the game. They changed what they wanted to do with this game like 3 or 4 times before they settled on the final product. And the final product is borderline god tier, in my opinion. I know there'll be people out there, fans and non-fans of Resident Evil, that will not say this game is god tier. but they are the minority. I guarantee that the vast majority of Resident Evil fans and fans that are not Resident Evil fans but know about this game, they will tell you this game is amazing. And if you, I said if you look up like documentaries on YouTube about this game, I said about the production, but there's probably also videos out there that will tell you this was one of the first big third-person shooter games that were released. This game came out in 2005. Third-person shooter games that we play in the year 2024, they became what they are because of this game. This game didn't just revolutionize Resident Evil, it revolutionized third-person shooters. I can't speak enough about this game, but we have to move on. It's top of the tier. I don't think any other game on this list is going to go higher. Oh, you know what? What did I? Just to remind myself. Yeah, sorry. I did put Halo as my favorite. The last mission of Halo 3 I did put as the number one mission in Halo for me. And it's where are we going? And it's it's the same with this. Resident Evil 4, the original, top of the tree. Resident Evil, The Umbrella Chronicles. Now this game might be the easiest way to describe this one might actually just be to go to the wiki page. On rails shooter game that serves as the narration. Okay, yeah. So it's an on-rail shooter. You have no control over it. You just basically you start the mission, and the camera moves for you. It's like one of those arcade games when you go into an arcade and you with the gun that you hold it and then you just shoot what's on the screen. It's basically that, but it's a console game. The reason I love this game is because it basically takes Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 0, and Resident Evil 3, shrinks it into just like a tiny mini version of the story, covers all of them like the major points in the games, like the most important things, shrinks it all down into like an hour, like you play an hour's worth of gameplay in this game, an hour in this game, an hour in this game, but then it adds so many extra little bonus bits to the whole like the universe of Resident Evil, like the general story of Resident Evil. Particularly because you can sort of see his face in the thumbnail. This is Albert Wesker. This game massively helps Albert Wesker's story and describing his story. I actually love this game. I love this game so much I'm putting it in S tier. And it's not just because it's focused. It develops Albert Wesker's story. I just think the game in general adds so much to the story. Despite the fact that it's an on-rail shooter and you could probably get through the whole game in about 4 to 5 hours. Resident Evil 5. I've Let's Played this game with Sane. I've done a co-Let's Play with him on his channel and on my channel as well. This is probably the first game in the franchise that massively divided the fan base. Like, pretty much split it in half because there's very little horror in this game. It's the first Resident Evil game which is very low on horror. It massively leans on the action. If this game's like 60-40, this game's probably like 60% horror, 40% action. Roughly. This game leans way more into the action. It's like 90% action, 10% horror, if that. But it is a brilliant co-op game. And I'm going to put it in A. I will put it at the bottom of A. I could maybe make a case for putting it above the original Resident Evil 3, but I will put it at the bottom of A. Resident Evil The Dark Side Chronicles. So this is the follow-up to the Umbrella Chronicles. And this basically takes Resident Evil 2... and... is it just... what else is there? There's another game. Oh, and Code Veronica. It takes Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil Code Veronica, shrinks it down into like 1 hour stories with a bunch of other bonus content. I believe focused around Leon's storyline and stuff that happens in Leon's story. The problem with this game is that it just doesn't have as much content as the Umbrella Chronicles, and it doesn't add all that much significant stuff. Like the bonus stuff that's added to the story, to the Resident Evil universe for like Albert Wesker's story is huge, like the impact it has. The stuff in this game, the brand new content in this game is just doesn't really add all that much extra to the story. It's just kind of a lot of waffle, really. And so because of that, I'm going to put it in B. Resident Evil: The Mercenaries. Let me just remind myself, just so I'm not confusing this. Third-person shooter. That's the Executioner from Resident Evil 5. Is this just like an arena-based thing? I don't remember this game. Oh, yeah, no, now it's coming back to me. Yeah, oh, yeah, okay, it's a 3DS game. Yeah. Yeah, this is just one of those nothing kind of games. It's based off of a mini game in Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 5 that's just basically turned into its own game. This is really a nothing game. I'm just going to put this in C. It just puts you in loads of different scenarios where you can play as iconic Resident Evil characters, and you have to see how many enemies you can kill. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to quickly just move these two games together. Resident Evil Revelations and Revelations 2. Now, technically, I should be putting both of these games in D because I've never played them, but I have watched Let's Plays of them, and I know this game is very good, and I know this game isn't as good, but is still okay. They just basically add more content to... They're not main story games, but they add content to individual characters in the Resident Evil universe. I think the first game might actually be Chris and Jill, if I remember correctly. Who were the two original characters in the first game. Is it Chris and Jill, or is it Jill and somebody else? No, it is Chris and Jill, yeah. Whereas I know Revelations 2 is Barry Bannon, who was a character in the original game. And I believe a new character. Oh no, it's Claire and Barry. I'm pretty sure there is another character in there that's a main character, and it's a brand new character. But yeah, I'm sort of cheating here. I should put these both in the bottom, but I know they are well-received games and they're well-liked games. Also, I've just realised something. I'm actually going to put Mercenaries in here because I'm going to use this tier for dog trash games. And the dog trash game is this. Operation Raccoon City. I have nothing to say about this game except it's absolute trash. It is dog shit trash, and it should never exist. And Sane can back me up on this. And this game isn't much better either. Umbrella Corps. You can take both of those games and shove them in the bin. Just absolute disgusting, crap, terrible, shocking games. Bye-bye. Okay, moving on. Resident Evil 6. Okay, everything I just said about bad games, this game could also fall into this tier. But at least this game functions properly. At least it has a story that's worth playing because it's a main series game. But the game is just so bad. Me and Sane have Let's Played it. We've spoken many times in Xbox parties about how terrible this game is. It's bloody... Resident Evil 5 is a great co-op game, but it's 90% action, 10% horror. This game is 99.999% action and then one tiny minuscule little bit of horror. That's probably a slight exaggeration. There's probably similar amounts of horror in this game as there is in this game, but the game is just bad. The co-op is fractionally better. It's basically the same gameplay in this game as is in this game, just with the added bonus of the fact that you can shoot whilst you're moving. You can move and shoot at the same time. That's the only addition that's good to this game. The action is bad. There's too much of it. There's not enough horror. There's 4 storylines in this game. It's too long. The storylines in this game that are just not worth it. Some of it the whole story in general just doesn't make sense. It maybe does make sense on some levels, but to me it's just crap. It's just crap, and it borderline almost destroyed the Resident Evil franchise. And it was so bad that we had to wait 5 years to get the next game in the franchise, which was Resident Evil 7, also known as Resident Evil Biohazard. This game took a massive revamp of the franchise again. So Resident Evil 4 revolutionized the franchise by turning it into a third-person shooter game. Resident Evil 7 did the whole thing again, this time turning it from a third-person shooter game into a first-person shooter game. This game is a very scary game. It's probably the scariest Resident Evil game since maybe Resident Evil 3. I think the third-person perspective helps make it scary. I think it's a breath of fresh air. It definitely brought fans back into the franchise. The biggest problem with this game is that it doesn't feel like a Resident Evil game. And what I mean by that is the links to the Resident Evil universe are very, very thin. It is basically its own game. It's its own game with its own storyline and its own characters. And you could almost just make it into its own horror game. It's not even. It's almost like you've just rubber stamped Resident Evil onto the title, and therefore it's a Resident Evil game. They stick Chris Redfield in at the very end of the game, and then he's in DLC, and that's kind of like the only reference to Resident Evil that's in it. There are other references as well, but nevertheless, the fact that that's the biggest criticism I can find for it tells you that this is a good game. And I'm going to put it here. Okay, we've got 6 games left, and we've got to hurry up. We've got to wrap this up. Resident Evil 2 Remake. A remake to the original Resident Evil 2, like over 20 years. I believe about 22 years after the first game came out. This game is going in S tier. Am I putting it ahead of the original Resident Evil 2? You know what? I think I am. It's a lot smaller. The remake is a lot smaller than the original. There's a lot of cut content in this game. There's 2 campaigns. I've Let's Played this game. I've Let's Played the Leon campaign. The Leon version of the Leon version campaign in this game. I didn't Let's Play the Claire campaign. This is a great game. It's third-person shooter, just like Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6. But it is without doubt the scariest Resident Evil game that's third-person shooter. It nails the story. It nails the remake aspects. It adds some great additions to the remake, so it's not just a copy and paste of the original. In both campaigns, in Leon's and Claire's. This is an amazing game. Resident Evil Resistance. There's nothing bad about this game. This is just another one similar to the Mercenaries. It's just shoot 'em up. I could make a case for putting it in C, because this game, when it came out, does not work. It didn't function properly. And I'll be honest, I don't think I've played this game. You know what? In fact, I don't think I've even touched this game since. Well, I played the game when it first came out, and I played it when it was still broken, and the servers and everything just didn't work, and I haven't played it since they fixed it. But so I'll put it in C, but it's still better than both of these 2 games. In fact, I have to do the same thing with this. Resident Evil Verse, I have the game downloaded, but I've never played it. Free to go. Resident Evil 3 Remake. I know a lot of fans hate this remake. The problems that existed in the original Resident Evil 3, which is the reason why it's down here and not up here, all of these problems exist in the remake as well. And then there's even more problems. It's incredibly short. There's an achievement in this game to beat this game within an hour. I think it's an hour. And the fact that that achievement exists shows that this game is too short. If you're putting an achievement in the game which is beat the game in under an hour, that just proves that you haven't made this game big enough or long enough. The fact that you can do it in less than an hour. This game, in my opinion, was massively rushed. It was released only a year after Resident Evil 2 Remake was released. Massively rushed. Should have been released at least 6 to 12 months later than it was released. Far too much cut content. It's actually that bad, I'm going to only put it in B. Resident Evil Village, aka Resident Evil 8, the sequel to Resident Evil 7, following on from the storyline and all the characters that were introduced in Resident Evil 7. And I suppose, technically, this game is the furthest into the Resident Evil universe. Anything to do with Resident Evil, in terms of content and where the story's going, the furthest into its existence is this game. We don't know anything beyond this game in terms of what's going on in the universe, I don't think. I'm going to put this game here. I don't enjoy it as much as Resident Evil 5. It's definitely not as good as Resident Evil 7. I've only played through it once. This is probably of the modern Resident Evil games, this is probably the one I've played the least of. I've only played the campaign once. I haven't even touched all of the DLCs. There are DLCs in this game that I still haven't played. This game just isn't that memorable to me. It's not bad. It's still a good game. It's just not that memorable, and it doesn't have that replayability to me. It does have a couple of fantastic locations though. Anyone that knows anything about this game knows about Lady Dimitrescu, the giant 8-foot woman that exists in the game. And there's also one brilliant section which is hugely scary. Sane will know what I'm talking about with the baby monster. Yeah. But it's only an okay game. Maybe because it's only an okay game, I should be putting it in B. But it's just done enough for me to get into A. Which leaves us with the Resident Evil 4 remake. Now, what it says here, received critical acclaim and was nominated. I'm going to cheat here. It sold 6.48 million units, making it the fastest selling installment. All of that alone is going to make me put it in the top of S. But I am cheating here because I haven't played this game. I bought this game. It's a remake to my favourite game ever. I haven't played it yet because I want to let's play it. I haven't had the time to let's play it yet, and so because of that, I haven't touched it. Because I haven't touched it, it really should be in here. But it's a remake of my favourite game ever. So I'm going to cheat, and I just went with what it said in the wiki, and it says it's the fastest selling game, it's been critically acclaimed. Some people might even say it's even better, the remake is even better than the original. I can't be the judge of that because I haven't played it yet. Maybe I will play it, hopefully at some point soon in the future. But for now, we're putting it in S tier. And with all that done, we've gone 4 to 5 minutes over the finishing time that I wanted, because I wanted to finish at 4:30. That brings us to the end of this stream. I think it went pretty good. We went through everything I wanted to talk about future plans for the channel in terms of the next videos we're uploading, the fact that Tournament 24 is underway, and hopefully within the next couple of months I can announce Tournament 24 and when we're going to host it, when it's going to, when it's going to happen, all of that stuff. Plans for streams and all, future content. We've just laid out the groundworks for future content, basically. Done a couple of tiers here. here they are again, just so you can see the final result. Here's what we ended up with. And then here's a bunch of others that we could do in the future. Maybe as future streams, or maybe I'll just record them and then upload them as individual videos, possibly. Yeah, and then of course maybe we'll do some more streams, which is actually on the games, which is actually on, you know, playing some actual video games for starters. Maybe, for example, like this game. Yeah, but for anyone that's watched, I hope you've enjoyed, and yeah, we will see you guys again, hopefully very soon, for another more regular stream, and hopefully the next stream that you're watching isn't happening in 3 months' time. Okay, guys, we'll see you guys again very soon. Yeah, we will see you guys again, hopefully very soon, for another more regular stream, and hopefully the next stream